What's going on, y'all? We're here at the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation Benefit Dinner, and we're live in the You Got This Lounge. And with me, I have my partner, Jada McCray.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Chris Simon. But the person y'all actually came here and probably logged on to see is my guest here on the sofa today, Ms. Taraji P. Henson. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm awesome. So earlier, I was allotted the opportunity to come up on Capitol Hill with you as you talked about the suicide rates, as you talked about the issues for the the need for black mental health in these urban communities. I want to talk, and now we're here kicking off the conference at the benefit dinner and then the 2-day conference tomorrow. Talk to me about how do you feel about the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, the work that you guys are doing for the conference, and why DC?
Well, D.C. because this is my hometown, and it's also where Capitol Hill is. This is where you get the politicians on your side.
So when you say hometown,
Born and raised.
Southeast?
Southeast.
Okay.
Southeast.
Mumbo sauce?
Mumbo sauce.
All right, Mo.
But you know, I'm in Chicago now, so I like that mild sauce. But I stopped eating chicken anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
But you know, I love my city. I love where I'm from, and you know, why not DC? Why not my hometown?
Awesome. Yeah, we're right up the road in Baltimore, and we do a lot of work in PG. We have an office in PG County and Lanham. So when I found out that you were doing it in DC, I was like, wow. For me, I was like, this could be the CBC of mental health. You know what I mean? What are your goals for the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation going forward?
First thing is, right now what I'm loving is the awareness. People are feeling more comfortable talking about it. What I talked about on the Hill today was making mental health a part of our children's curriculum, because we can teach sex education, physical education, math, science. Why don't we teach them about their mental? If they start talking about it at school, we assign them with homework. It's only going to affect home, because now, mommy, we got to talk about this. You know, and so something that has been so taboo for so long, generation after generation, now we expose it. And exposing is not a secret. It's not anything bad. You know, we're so quick to talk about our other illnesses. Why can't we include our mental?
Absolutely. And now a lot of celebrities have come forward and they've shared their stories about mental health, but not everyone has started a foundation. That's a lot of effort. What made you decide to establish the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation?
Out of necessity. I just, you know, when my son and we needed to get help because his father was murdered here in D.C. and my father died 2 years later, and that's traumatic. And for both of us, and because now I'm left alone to raise this black boy. What do I tell him? You know,
a too common story.
Right. So. When it was time to look for someone that I felt comfortable speaking to, certainly my son would feel comfortable being vulnerable in front of, it was like looking for a unicorn. I can't put it any better. A purple unicorn with a 15-karat gold horn. Like, it was impossible. Not that they don't exist, it's just that they're not easily accessible. And that was a problem for me, because I have a lot of white friends, and they have standing appointments every week. And it's like, well, what's wrong with us? How come we don't have? So then I talked to my best friend, Tracy Jenkins, who...
She's awesome.
Isn't she?
She's super awesome.
She's my best friend since the 7th grade. But she runs my foundation. She's the executive director, and we started doing research. The number of black psychiatrists, psychologists, and therapists was so low. And that's because we don't talk about it at home. So the first thing I wanted to tackle was just to make it a conversation. Why are we not talking about this? You know? It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I believe that everybody suffers from some form of anxiety. You see what's going on in the world?
Absolutely.
You know?
So we at BTST, we have 2 black psychiatrists. Dr. Boyer will be on a panel with you tomorrow. I'm excited about that. But what I want to so you labeled this "Can We Talk?" That's my Tevin Campbell song.
Yes.
I'm having tongue tie. Maybe I'm a little nervous. But no.
Use your coping skills.
She's talking to me like a therapist that she is. But no, so Can We Talk is the name of the conference. So can we talk for just a second? I want to ask you a certain question, a little bit, maybe slightly more personal. You've played many roles, whole gamut, and you've done a wonderful job doing them.
Thank you.
and you have to get into character a lot of times, right? Because some of the roles that you've played aren't who you are on a daily basis. And you find a lot of actors, they have to own these roles, and they go so deep to become these roles, right? That sometimes it's hard to switch it off.
Yeah.
Like you see, like Heath Ledger, he committed suicide after playing the Joker. And then Michael B. Jordan talked about how you needed to go to therapy after playing Killmonger. Talk about how you get in character and get out of character without losing yourself.
That's something I trained myself to do because in the beginning, before I garnered my skills, my tools and things that I needed to be the actress that I am, you throw yourself in. It's like, I gotta do this all the time. And then it was like, I really don't. You know, I am trained in this, so I literally have a switch that I can turn on and off. And that's for my mental. Everybody can't do that, but that's how I work. I can't stay in a character all the time. I need Taraji to breathe.
Yeah.
You know, because if I'm not being Taraji, then I have no riches to bring back to the character. So it is imperative that, and I think being a single mother helped me with that because I couldn't go home talking about don't call me nothing but Yvette. My son would be like, my son would be like, who is Yvette? You know, so.
You know who Yvette is, Jody.
Right. So, you know, I had to, I learned that, and I think being a mother forced me to do that. Because when I crossed that threshold, it was homework, what am I eating? I got school tomorrow, PTA, you know, so I couldn't stay in that character.
Compartmentalizing it.
Absolutely. It's work.
And I'm sure that it's not even getting in character. Just when you are in the public light all the time, you have to get yourself up to make sure that you don't come across any type of way. You're making sure you have the great energy around people. And I know,
try,
like me,
but I'm human. And sometimes it's just you're not gonna get.
yeah. But then when you get home, you find like, I can just crash and everything. So I'm pretty sure, you know, that it's not even just getting enrolled.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you just want to go to the store and, because I still like, I mean, I have assistants, but I like to stay grounded. I still like to get my own produce. I know what I want my lemon to look like, you know? And so it's a bit frustrating when I just want to go buy my produce and then but that comes with it. And it's just how I maneuver. I walk in my truth. If I don't feel like taking a picture, I'm not going to take a picture. You know, you gotta give me a chance to be human. You know, and I understand at the same time this person's like, well, when am I ever gonna get this chance again? But it's not like I said, meet me at Whole Foods on 9th and F Street at this time. I'm signing autographs. So you have to allow, you know, it's give and take from the fans and myself.
It's crazy because I'm a trained professional. I've been a therapist for a long time. But when I walked through the door and I saw you, I felt like I saw someone that I knew. I had to check myself like, you don't know her, calm down, you know? But so I know it must be difficult for other people as well. I'm so happy that you're doing everything that you're doing with mental health. For the Boris Lawrence Foundation, what are you going to do beyond the conference? What is the goal, and how can we donate if we want?
Well, you can donate right now. If you text, can we talk to 41444? Any donation is grateful. I mean, we're just honored that you care. And what was the other question? You can also go to, you can also go to BorisLHensonFoundation.org to donate. But now, what was the next question?
Your mission going forward. How can we keep this momentum going?
We're tackling recidivism in the prison systems because, you know, half of the prison population being Black. I think that's an inaccurate. I think it's even more than half. They suffer from mental issues. And so if you don't deal with those mental issues going into the penitentiary, chances are when you come out of prison, you're going to end up right back there. And we all know that prison is not where you go for reform or to rehabilitate. So that's something we're tackling. Giving scholarships to young African Americans who are interested in this field because we have to close that gap. We need more therapists who are culturally competent. The awareness, scholarships, and right now we're already in urban schools in DC and we're going across the country. We're painting positive images and positive reinforcements in the bathrooms where children are going nowadays to cut. They're being bullied in these bathrooms, and we're just I know it seems small, but you have no idea what visual stimulation can do for your mental.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that earlier today, and I was like, wow. You know, because those bathrooms were dark and stuff like that. Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everything that you're doing, and in addition to those things, connecting people who can't afford or who wouldn't have access to mental health services with therapists and stuff like that. And BTST is excited and happy to be your regional partner to provide those therapeutic services. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And so please, everybody that's watching this right now, like she said, go donate. We need you guys to donate. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, 10,000 is good too. But whatever, whatever you want to donate,
20
please.
million! No, I'm kidding. I'm just
$20 million.
All the lives we can save.
But no, honestly, they're doing phenomenal work connecting individuals with mental health services. So please, your donation goes a long way. We run a mental health organization. We know what it takes to run an organization, how difficult it is, the decisions that have to be made, and how we like to provide services and all the extra fees that or extra expenses that don't even make the scene that go into providing these services. So please donate. Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. What else can they text for it?
They can text, "Can we talk?" to 41444.
Awesome. I know you got a lot to do. You have other people to see. You got a dinner happening. Then we got a concert downstairs with a guest performer and everything like that. So we'll let you go.
Thank
you very much for being here.
Both of you.
Thank
you so much for your work you're doing too. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
takes a village.
Can we get the photo real fast?
Are we still live?
Oh.
Are we taking the picture?
You want me to? I'm gonna walk around the other side.
Oh.
Are you sure?
No, come right here, Jada. Just come right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the middle. That's why you were going around.
Yes, she could be in the middle.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I wanted to crop you out later.
I'll slide over and let you guys do your thing.
Thank you.
All right, I'll slide over.
Oh, well, I
There
gotta
you
do this
go.
for my mom.
Okay.
Where's she going?
All right, so stay tuned to the You Got This Lounge. We have more people coming through that are going to be interviewed. We're going to be talking to a lot of people on mental health. Oh, and we have somebody coming to the set right now. The one, the only, Miss Jennifer Lewis. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Good. Nice to see you too,
Yes.
pretty girl.
Hello, the godmother of Black Hollywood.
The mother
The mother.
of Black Hollywood.
Let me get it right.
Lady. Yes. Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Awesome.
Are we on?
Yeah, we are on.
Wow.
We're at the You Got This Lounge, Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. You just got in,
Yes, you did.
so you want to go ahead and start off?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm a little starstruck. Listen, my girlfriends and I, you steal every scene, and there's this one scene in in the Tina Turner movie where you said, "That's a good black man." So every time our husbands get on our nerves, we like, "Girl, be quiet. That's a good black man."
Wait a minute. Now, that's the first time. People imitate me all the time. And,
I don't think they can do that voice, though.
but that's the first time I've heard that one repeated. You know, it's anime. It's alien. These pearls are tight around my neck. Who's this out here in a red convertible? Oh, my God. That movie, who knew?
But you steal scenes all of the time, and you're so good at what you do. And I know a lot of artists have said that they suffer or they've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and you've shared also that you've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. How do you remain so forceful and so wonderful at your craft and manage that?
Well, here's the thing. I love what I do. And that's what I want everybody to do is find a passion. Find what you love to do so that when you get depressed, when you are out of control, when there is chaos and madness, then you know that you need to go and get help. And you know that you can't hurt yourself too badly because you want to get up the next morning
To do what you love.
and do what you love to do. See, that's what sustained me. The dream sustained me. Nothing was going to stop that, not even bipolar disorder. And now, after 17 years of therapy and being medicated, I believe for now 20 years, I love saying it because it's true. Not even me can stop me.
So speaking about that, because you say this has been
So humble.
been happening for about 17 years, And we provide mental health services, and so we partner with other celebrities and sports, people in the sports industry, to have them talk about their story related to mental health and do different projects. And what I find is that a lot of times, they never wanted to come out to say anything initially, and they were suffering in silence because they were worried about being judged.
The stigma and ignorance has to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Taraji. She's starting a national movement.
Yes.
You know, for mental illness. And I'm here to support her. You know, she had me at hello. So we all have to come together. Listen, when you see that uncle and he stays in the basement too long, when you have that cousin who jumps on top of the picnic table at the family reunion, when you have that, dear God, you know when somebody's sick, the neighbor whose grass has gotten too long. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
We always know. Don't let nobody tell you, well, I didn't know. That's already a lie. Yes, you did. You knew. So reach out and help each other, love each other, care about each other. That's the only way we're going to get through this.
And it's not even just that. Jada has a saying, have you checked on your strong friend? Because it's not only, mental health doesn't only impact people that are in bad situations or seem to be going through the worst of things.
Absolutely.
People that are in successful places that appear to show well and everything, we still go through mental health stuff as well.
And a lot of people don't even know they're depressed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See? I didn't know I was depressed. I cried every night, but I'm just part of the show as far as I was concerned. This was in my 20s. You see, I didn't know just how bad it was until all of my friends started dying from AIDS, and I had a nervous breakdown. My grief was just too great. And a friend looked at me after I fell on the floor, screaming. She said, hey, come here. Come here, baby. Come here, Jenny. Something's wrong. I was like, F you, F you. I'm Jennifer Lewis. There's nothing wrong with me. Well, sorry, oops. Yes, there was.
So you said that you've been on medication for 20 years. You've been in therapy for 17 years. What skills have you learned now when you're not just Jennifer Lewis, this fabulous
Well,
person?
here are the skills. First of all, I want everybody to get a journal and write your story and tell the truth when you write it. When you feel yourself being out of control, you sit down with paper and pencil. I'm not talking about the computer or your phone. I'm talking about hand, ink, and write it out and let the tears flow because they will. You stand in the mirror in the morning, instead of spending 2 hours doing your makeup, you look yourself in the eye and say, I love myself, and stand there until you mean it and let the tears fall. You look in the mirror and accept and believe in who you are and what you are and tell yourself the truth. I'm in pain. Something hurts. You know, the childhood abuse. I had childhood abuse. We all did. Nobody know what they were doing. We're 3 generations from slavery, for Christ's sake.
Absolutely.
So, look in the mirror. That's the first step. Write out what you are feeling. Feelings are the universal language, not words. If a Chinese woman comes to my door screaming and hollering and pointing, speaking Chinese, I'm not going to say, what are you saying? No, we're going to go down the street and we're both going to pick the truck up off her daughter.
Absolutely.
Feelings are the universal language. And you know when something is wrong. So you reach out your hand to your friends and your relatives and say, come on, but I also say this. Don't reach out too many times. If they're not ready to get help, they're not coming with you. And everybody's got to stand in their own. Can I cuss? Because I want to. This is FaceTime, Facebook.
Yeah, that's Facebook and Instagram
well,
Live.
I'm cussing. Y'all know I want to cuss.
No,
I'm going to be nice. No, I'm
they're
going to be
waving
nice.
they're giving us the no.
No, please
All right,
don't.
I'm going to be nice. Get on my nerve. You help somebody. You wake up and smell the coffee. You got one life, and it's precious.
Absolutely.
You want to know what my success is?
Go ahead.
I've done 68 movies, 443 episodic television shows, 4 Broadway shows, and I've toured in concert all over the world. But you want to know what my true success is?
What is it?
I'm happy. Everybody wants to be happy. Now, what does that mean, Miss Lewis? That means you walk in it. First of all, you have to take responsibility for every choice you've made, going to make, and making at this very second. You think when I sat down like this 20 years ago, I was scared to death. I was in front of the camera, but I'm not scared anymore because I don't care what people think about me. You do your best and you leave the rest. The elevator to success is broken. Take the stairs. It's when your heart is hit that you mustn't quit. I don't care what you got to grab. Those are just some of my proverbs. Whatever you got to grab to move your life along, you grab it.
I'm sitting here, I'm ready to grab something right now. I'm looking like, where's it at? I need it right now. Where's it at? Give me that.
You just made our job so much easier.
You did.
Trying to get everybody
so
aware.
in conclusion, I know you said help someone. People should help someone. And Taraji is what she's doing. She's helping multitudes of people. It's going to be ripple effects more than she even knows. People that want to in touch. Please talk to people. Tell them that they need to donate, why they should donate, how important this is.
Listen, first of all, I have an anecdote about Taraji that I'm going to tell tonight when I accept the honor that she's giving me, which really moves me. Can't tell it now, but I'm going to tell it on stage.
I thought you were about to drop the jewel on
I
us.
was waiting with
I
bated
was like,
breath.
Taraji, she's a beast. Taraji don't play. I walked into the Emmys and Taraji turned around. She went, hey, and bowed down. The original Cookie, you know. We had a scene together in, I've done so many damn movies. What's the name of it, y'all? Come on. Not Easily Broken. We had a scene. And Bill Duke let me write that scene because they had my character coming around. I said, no. People this evil don't change just because you said something. And they don't. And when she kept coming back. And then I'd come back with a line. We were sitting there, it was all improv. And then she'd come back again. I couldn't believe this little girl was trying to go toe-to-toe with me. I said, and I just came right on back, and then she came back again. And that's when I knew she's gonna be the bomb. Taraji's fearless. She's vulnerable. She cares. That's why I'm here, honey. I've been traveling around the world. I'm exhausted. But Taraji P. Henson called me. She is starting a foundation called the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. This is the first gala, yes?
Yes.
The first anniversary. Well, she chose to honor me. So whatever she needs to help our people, and not just us, everybody, this will trickle down, this will go on forever. Black people have got to stop stigmatizing mental health. And you've got to stop being ignorant about it. And stop making, the kids have got this expression now called, oh, that's so bipolar. I don't think so. It's not funny. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's a disease, just like lupus or cancer or anything else.
Absolutely.
I see y'all telling me to get off, but I'm coming. First of all, you're not going to find nobody as exciting as I am.
Listen, I can see you all day. Just
But listen, no. But to conclude, reach out. Reach out. We always know when something's wrong. Don't ignore it. Don't deny it, because it's just going to come back. You snatch a weed out of the garden. You got to go down in the root and get it out. Get the pain out, but you just can't skip over it. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. before you judge somebody else. I got one more thing to say. I got one more thing to say. And who's going to take me off?
Hey,
What,
I'm
you
not-
going to drag me off?
Nah.
I want to speak to African American women right now. I am sick to death of driving through all these major black cities that I just came out of with my book tour of the Mother Black Hollywood and watching my sisters walk down the street 300, 400 pounds and okay with it. I'm looking into this camera right now and I'm telling you because you can hear it from me, because you know I love you. Stop eating fried chicken every day before this heart stops. Stop it. And then you go to church and you hide all that fat under those choir robes. See, I tell it like it is. And there's a lot of mental illness attached with that also, thinking it's okay to be that unhealthy. And most of the times they've been touched inappropriately, molested. I was molested by the minister of my church, the pastor of my church. You tell somebody if you've been touched and stop walking around holding that in and drinking yourself to death and eating yourself to death and getting high yourself to death. Life is precious. And you pursue happiness in your life. You are worthy of a beautiful life. And I mean that from my heart. And can't nobody say nothing to me because I'm the mama, the aunt, and the grandmama.
You definitely
And
are.
I'm the mother of Black Hollywood.
You definitely
Come
are,
for me.
Miss Jennifer Lewis is here with us. Thank you, Miss Jennifer.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Please go donate. You Got This Lounge, Taraji P. Henson, Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. You can donate now. Everything helps. You heard her story about mental health. There are plenty going on out there that don't have the same platform. So again, thank you for sharing your platform.
Absolutely. Love y'all.
Thank you.
All right. And don't bother
Can we get it? Black men in America.
That's right.
But we only have 3 on the sofa today.
We couldn't get on 10,000.
97 were late. So how are you guys? Talk about the work that you're doing and why are you excited about today?
Well, this is very important to us. I'm the national chair of 100 Black Men of America and one of the founding members of Atlanta that started the national organization. This is important to us because we have 125,000 young people in our mentoring program, several thousand members, but we understand the challenges of mental illness and mental health. And we've been working to try and remove the stigma because every person in this room, every person on the face of the earth at one point is going to have a challenge with mental health. Stress is a part of that. You got, of course, depression. We work in the prisons and we see that almost 89% of all of the men who are incarcerated have some form of mental illness. And so what we've got to do is remove the stigma, but more importantly, get people engaged and involved in the work to make a difference, including our young people. Our young people aren't born bad.
Yeah.
We don't look at the challenges. If they come to school from stress, from their mother having domestic problems with their partner, or gunshots in their neighborhoods, or no food on the table, all of these things pretty much contribute to the problems they have. So what we're trying to do in the 100, with our members is to make sure we get people engaged, involved, and to be here today is important to us because anybody who's willing to take a focus of this, and Taraji is phenomenal, and for her to lend her voice and her celebrity, but also in celebrating her father, it's important for us to be here.
Yeah, it's a lot of undiagnosed trauma that happens in our neighborhoods and our communities, and I'm glad that Taraji is using her platform. What are you excited about as it relates to the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation? How do you feel that it's so important to connect individuals with mental health?
Well, I think it's very important. I run a foundation in Miami, the Jackson Health Foundation, and so we're excited about having this partnership.
You're in Miami, you say?
I in Miami.
All right, we're going to exchange
Do a
info.
field
I'm going to
visit?
come visit you, and we're going to network in Miami, all
You
right?
can always come to
All
Miami
right.
and network with me
All
anytime
right.
you want to. So, as I said, I'm with the foundation and Jackson Health System, which is one of the largest, or the largest, public health hospital in the country. We have a freestanding behavioral health hospital, which is a mental health hospital, and it's important not only because we service the community, but we service more than just that community, but we service areas which people don't want to talk about. So partnering with the Boris Henson Foundation really will be good for us in that we will bring attention to how important it is to get those resources, not only for this foundation, but for other opportunities and foundations and hospitals across the country.
You speaking about that, talking about bringing resources. Talk up to the people watching about how funding is so important to this and why it's such a need to donate to this foundation for the work that they're doing.
Well, it's definitely a need because I think in my case, being a public hospital, a lot of folks believe that the county, the state, the federal government is funding that. That is true to a certain extent. But like private hospitals, we need funding that comes from everyday folks who obviously are participants either in our mental health hospital or our normal hospitals to know that they have a responsibility to give back to their community to make sure that there's what I call quality health care, quality services, quality access for those who need it. So it is absolutely important that not only for other foundations or other medical situations, but particularly for the situation that we're here tonight.
Awesome.
So what can we do to outreach to those who are very much in need? We know that the suicide rates of African American children have doubled over the last decade. So we're at a crisis point right now. What exactly can we do in our neighborhoods and our communities to outreach?
Well, you know, working with the 100, we get an opportunity to reach young people at a very young age. We start as early as 5 years old, and we go all the way through college. We call it mentoring across a lifetime. One of our models is what they see is what they'll be. So we have a tremendous opportunity to really show the kids who we are. Part of showing the kids who we are as mentors, we get a chance to show them not only how we became who we are, be it a father, a police officer, a doctor, a lawyer, but we also show them what it took to become who we are. So sometimes kids just need to see when you don't succeed the first time, it doesn't mean the end.
Yeah.
I heard one mentor share with one of the kids one day, don't look at fail as the end. Look at it as first attempt in learning, like an acronym. Because oftentimes you can get discouraged and you begin to feel a certain way, feel like you're not worthy, feel like you're less than. And that begins to play a role on mental health as well. So at the 100, we start from the original day they come to us, showing them who they are and showing them, most importantly, what they can become.
And I have my licensed therapist. I've been doing this work for 15 so years. I've been working with the individuals that I used to work with, the young boys. I used to help them, but spending time with them is also helping me, man. It keeps you grounded. They teach you new stuff, and it's just a wonderful dynamic relationship. And Taraji is going to continue that by connecting individuals with therapists, young individuals that don't have access to mental health services through the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. I don't want to hold you guys up. I hear the music going in the background. You guys want to leave? Want to say anything? Want something else before you guys leave?
Well, the thing is, we've got to get everybody engaged and involved. It's not somebody else's responsibility. It's ours. And in the African American community, we cannot expect others to do for us the things we can and must do for ourselves.
Yeah.
My members put millions after millions that we invest ourselves back in the community. Before we ask someone to support us financially, we invest in them. I own 6 businesses, 700 employees, 14 states, and I have members like that throughout the country. We have medical doctors. The chair of our mentoring program is a clinical psychologist, the first licensed clinical psychologist in the state of Georgia.
Oh, nice.
And so what we're doing is engaging, investing. I just finished 10 years as head of the 5th largest safety net hospital in the nation, Grady Health System. After the prisons in Georgia, Grady is the '2 institution for addressing mental illness and mental health challenges in the state. So what we've got to do is get people to stand up, to speak up, speak out, get engaged, and understand it is our responsibility, not theirs. Government, people in government are elected by us, but that's only one step. The community must step up, and so we salute Taraji for this effort, and we are going to be partnering from the 100 side to bring our resources, to bring our influence, to bring, again, our network, because this is so critical. She can't, and we can't do it alone. We need the whole community.
We need it.
involved.
It takes a village.
That's it.
And so I would look forward to connecting with you. We're in the state of Maryland. We do mental health services here. We have 5 facilities. So I look forward to connecting with you to see how we could all work together. Thank you guys for coming to sit down with us today. Thank you. Awesome. All right, so we're back at the You Got This Lounge, powered by BTST, the Can We Talk conference here, the Museum, Washington, D.C., and we got my brother back in the building, man. We've connected before.
Yep.
My guy, Charlamagne Tha God. What's up, bro?
Chris, Jada, how y'all?
I'm awesome, man. How are you?
We've done this before.
I know. We in several locations. Pause. But I don't want to be the donkey here today for that one.
I'm gonna keep it therapeutic though.
So we were on Capitol Hill earlier. It was phenomenal, man. Just to see the way they're listening to people like you and Taraji, lending your voice and using your platform to come out to talk about mental health. You had a book that talks about the mental health, Shook One. Talk about your experience and how you got into it.
I mean, I got into it just by doing it, you know. I mean, the easiest thing for me to do sometimes is just share my experiences. You know, I think anybody that's been listening to me for a long time knows I'm transparent, maybe too transparent. But I think, you know, going to therapy helped me to be more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so for me, it'd be kind of like, it's almost impossible for me to get on the radio or get on my podcast or get on TV and talk about everything else that's going on when I got my own issues that I'm dealing with. And, you know, for me, the easiest thing to do is get up every day and just be yourself.
Yeah.
So I was just really just sharing my experiences. I was just sharing my experiences of going to therapy, you know, going to therapy to deal with my anxiety. And then, you know, when you go to therapy, you start peeling back layers of all kinds of other stuff. So now you start talking about your PTSD and trauma from things that happened to you when you was younger, issues with your parents and things of that nature. So I was just keeping a journal and sharing that. So that's how I got involved into it, just by actually doing it, experiencing it, and just sharing it to people.
Go ahead.
So I read your book, of course, and
Thank you.
talked about all of the bullying that happened when you were in school. But the other day when I was listening to The Breakfast Club, you were saying that you think that SEL training should be in all schools,
Yes.
social emotional learning training. Can you hit on that a little bit?
Yeah, I do, because I think one of the reasons there's a stigma around mental health is because, you know, people really don't necessarily know what it is, or they just chalk it up to people being crazy. But if you introduce it early on, like in elementary school, to these kids who may be dealing with issues, or even if they're not dealing with issues, like, you know, why can't you just get in better shape mentally? If you introduce it early, then the next generations, you know, won't look at mental health as such a stigma, because it's be something that just is part of your everyday routine, just like PE is, or, you know, going to the gym, or people encouraging you to go run. Like, same thing with therapy or anything else.
We have some I'm Not Crazy gear that's over there. I'm going to get you some that is spelled differently to break the stigma, the way we use the word crazy, the way we view it. Taraji is doing that using her platform to break the way people see mental health. Talk about how proud of you, how you're proud of her and what she's doing with the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation.
Yeah, man. You know, when I put out Shook One last year, you know, she launched the foundation shortly after. And I remember looking at that saying, man, the universe is really conspiring for us to have these conversations about mental health. So when I saw that, like when I saw her launch the foundation, I just wanted to do anything that I could to help and support, because I feel like, you know, if we all lend a helping hand to each other, it's going to benefit us all, because we're all doing something that's going to benefit us all anyway. You know? The more information we share about, you know, mental health and ways to get treatment for it and therapy, we're just helping our community anyway. So I'm just, you know, proud that she's helping to use her big voice to, you know, elevate the conversation even more. And any way I can assist that, I'm here.
Well, I think you assist with it every day. Talking to people on the radio, like if someone comes to your show, you pick them about mental health. You say it like, bro, talk about this, but why'd you do this? And it's in a, you know, sometimes it's in a, you know, you're picking at them or whatever for the conversation, but I know that you really are using this as an opportunity to say, hey, maybe you should consider this. You know what I'm saying? So I really thank you for that, because it's people go on radio all the time and not people talk about physical health. They talk about all the great stuff you're doing, but they're not talking about how you're impacted and how you're feeling. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing. For people that...
You know, that I always say when you ask somebody how they doing, like, you should really mean it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should really ask them how they doing, like, how's their spirit? Like, just don't say it as something in passing, like, how are you? And then, you know,
I'm good,
yeah, but now, you know, sometimes they hit you with the, I'm effed up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and now you got to deal with that.
Yeah, whoa.
But you know what you do a really great job of giving people the vocabulary. Because a lot of times people will say things like fine or I don't know or mad or say, you help people to really dig deeper.
Well, each one teach one. You know, like I said, it's about sharing information. I think sometimes black people, we feel like keeping secrets from each other is benefiting us, but it's really not. It's actually doing the opposite. So when you acquire certain information, you know, pass it on to others. That's how we all learn and grow.
It's not even about just passing on information. It's about passing on the wealth. And we have to spread our dollar around, and we need to spread our dollars around to help the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. So please tell everybody, go donate.
Yeah, please go donate. I'm definitely going to donate some change tonight. You know, I'm doing all right in life. You know what I mean? So I'm going to donate tonight, and I think that you should too, because the people that you're helping are people in your own community. Because if we don't start dealing with our traumas and dealing with our hurt and dealing with our pain, then all we're going to do is redistribute that pain to other people who look just like us.
Awesome.
Hurt people hurt people. So, you know, stuff like this is the first step towards healing.
Yes, it is. Man, we're going to have to connect some more, man, and
Let's
just keep
do it, Chris.
brainstorming and talking.
Yeah.
You got this, Lounge. We're signing off.
Thank you,
Charlamagne,
Jada.
I know
Thank
he's
you,
going to go
Chris.
make his rounds and do some things. Let's get a quick picture before you leave.
do it.
All right. Let me get on that side so you could be in the middle.
Oh, okay.
I got to tell you this.
All right, there we go.
I gave my dad your book. He struggled for years with mental health.
Wow.
And with Don't forget, guys, this is Jada McCray, and this is Chris Simon, and we're here at the Can We Talk Lounge for the Boris Henson Foundation. Please, everybody, go to www.canwetalk.com and donate.
Yes, yes, yes. So we have McKissick and McKissick. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. Awesome. I was practicing to make sure that I was going to get it right. I didn't want to botch that. How are you guys?
We're doing great this evening.
do we need to speak into your
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your organization and what you guys do.
So McKissick & McKissick is the nation's oldest African-American construction company. We date back 29 years to the first descendant of my family who came here as a slave and was taught the trade of making bricks. And the company was passed down to his kids. And then my grandfather and his brother are the first black licensed architects in the country, with license 117 and 118 in the state of Tennessee. So we are builders.
So you're building these beautiful communities. What role does this building have in helping to assist the mental health community and making healthier communities?
Well, McKissick & McKissick, we have always been about giving back, whether it's helping African Americans in the communities that we serve get jobs on our projects, helping African American businesses. But 3 years ago, my daughter had her first psychotic episode. And so during that time, of course, it was very stressful, but I'm married to a doctor, I have resources, and I couldn't navigate. I couldn't figure out what to do. So I can only imagine what it's like for people who don't have those resources.
Yeah. So you guys do construction. During our panel tomorrow, View from the Top, it's leaders in healthcare. Part of my speech, I'm going to be speaking about the importance of having a strong not only having a strong foundations, but having strong footings. And I view the footings almost like a community that supports the foundation. Right. Talk about the importance of having a strong foundation so that we can build out our communities and what's needed to do that.
Well, I'll take that. Well, first of all, make the distinction. We are working on behalf as the agency of record for Cheryl McKissick and her brand. And so what brought us here this evening is that part of Cheryl and all the wonderful things that she's been doing for the past 20 years as the founder and CEO, as the CEO and president of McKissick & McKissick, we wanted people to know, and that answers that question, that she is doing things beyond the hard hat. And that's what the whole campaign is about. You know, who is this woman, this business leader, this thought provoker, trailblazer? She's a mother first and a wife. And some of the things that we're doing is that we want to be able to give back and show by example. And so these are some of the things that not only Sheldon, she didn't mention, she's been doing for the past several years, a summer intern program. And it's not just for those kids that are in construction, per se, or building, but for instance, it's showing that if you want to be an accountant, if you want to be in PR or marketing, she has opportunities in those departments. So again, it's not just by giving, by talking, but by showing and offering opportunities.
Opportunities, that decreases the hopelessness and helplessness.
There's touch points within the community too, because wherever she builds, you know, so she brings a community component to that. And so she teaches them and you know, she trains them so that the people within the community can work on the job projects that she has started. So, you know, having that awesome. Touch point and having that intimacy is very important to the company. Wow.
I want to add something, though. Now, we all are familiar with the Barclay Center.
Yeah.
So I say this for a reason. A lot of times, you know, we forget when we see the beautiful structures that are already completed, there has to be an infrastructure that is first constructed, or the excavation, so that something can be built upon. That's the foundation, right? That we spoke about. This is what Cheryl does. So she is responsible for the infrastructure of the Barclay Center.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
awesome.
to know that, and in the newest campus of Columbia University in Manhattan, and the new $8 billion lead on lead prime on the JFK project of the renovation.
She has so much going on.
I know.
Not only is she
literally
building
a pillar
stuff
of the community.
and doing it in heels.
Literally.
and
doing it in heels.
Not only is she building stuff, you're also building stuff for you. You're also giving stuff to the community. And I see something that's coming on the set right now that's being given away. What is this right here?
We are so excited. We are pledging $100,000.
How much again?
$100,000.
$100,000.
To the Boris Lawrence Foundation.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
This year.
Awesome.
So between this month June and June of 2020, sounds futuristic. We are making a commitment through various events that we're going to be doing in New York and throughout the country, and Taraji has told us earlier today that, whatever she can be part of that to lend her celebrity, which is important. But our goal is through all the things and engagements that we create, our goal to the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation is $100,000 from McKissick and McKissick.
Awesome.
Amazing, amazing.
So we're really proud of that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. For everybody at home, this is phenomenal. This is going to do great work in the community. If you would also like to donate, where can they go, Jada?
www.canwetalk.com.
Or Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation and get your donation.
This is what we need.
Yeah.
There you go.
Help you. Help us help us.
There you go. Can we talk? Thank you, Taraji.
Wow, that is
Thank you.
awesome. So please make sure you donate. Ladies, thank you for being on set with us today.
Thank you.
Can we get a photo with you guys as well? Jay, I'll go right.
You want this one in there?
Let's get one with and one without.
Okay. You want to?
Drop the mic.
Okay, so we're back at the You Got This Lounge. Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. We're at the museum. Please go donate. We have it's an event going on outside. I can hear the music. It's exciting. But we had somebody come in to join us from this. My guy, Mr. Morris Chestnut. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome.
We're doing really great. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you.
You don't have to smile so hard,
I know.
Jada.
Listen, let me blush in peace. All those ladies got the spoon off camera.
I've been sitting here the whole time. Nobody else smiled like this. So, man, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Awesome. We're Taraji P. Henson's putting this conference on.
Yes.
How do you feel about it, what she's doing with the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation?
I think it's an excellent cause. I think the cause is definitely prevalent in our society today, and I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
You are an icon. You've been in so many different movies and played such a diverse number of roles. And I would say Ricky, but I'm not going to do that because
That's not the first time I heard it. That's all good. It's all good.
I'm not going to say that tonight. But that was an experience of trauma. And I love the roles that you play because you play roles that are really relevant to the African American community and not just one type of role. Can you speak to that? Because you've been in a marriage for a very long time as well. So you know how to keep a relationship going. Talk about positivity in Black relationships in film.
In film?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things I always strive for in my characters is show positive Black images in relationships. And I've been fortunate to be able to do that in most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Since she's not going to talk about Ricky, I'm going to talk about Ricky,
Okay,
right?
all right, that's cool.
Boys in the Hood. When that happened to Ricky, man, that touched everybody's soul, man. That might have been the second tear I cried since E.T., right?
Since E.T. Wow, you went
Did you
back.
pull up
You went back. I didn't cry in E.T.
He's just so smooth. I don't cry at all.
No.
But no, but that showed a lot of what happens every day in our communities.
Yes.
Talk about like how that depiction is a mirror image of what's happening in our communities and what we can be doing. How should we go about trying to fix it?
Well, the one thing about that particular movie is that those issues in that movie are still prevalent today as well. You still have a lot of those issues today, and I think things are getting better, but they're still prevalent. So there's still some work we can do.
Yeah, it is. You have a son that's bouncing between households that's still relevant. You still have poverty and guys just hanging out, just looking for things to get into because there aren't any resources.
Right.
Taraji is trying to bring those resources through the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. I'm excited for her. I know, are you?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. I mean, when I had the opportunity to come here and support, I jumped at the chance because I think not only do I love Taraji and I really support everything she does, but it's a great cause as well.
Yeah.
But you'll also be participating in a panel as well tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be participating in the panel as well, yeah.
All right.
The Black Men's Heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
So talk about why it's so important for men to open up and talk about their experiences.
Well, I think that a lot of times I do think things are general, just men, not white men or black men, but I think particularly black men, it's important for us to open up at this point because sometimes we feel that we have to be strong and put on this strong facade of who we are, and sometimes we're afraid to be vulnerable and express ourselves and let things go. But sometimes you have to communicate, you have to talk to people, let them know how you're feeling. You can't keep everything bottled up inside.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking about not keeping the bottle up inside. Taraji's trying to help with that. Tell the people out there watching right now to go donate what they should be doing to support her.
Come on, everybody got to donate. Get out your checkbooks, get out your ATM cards, whatever you need to do.
Awesome. I know you got to get back out there and you want to go hang out, so we won't hold you up too long. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Great meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Can we get a photo before you go?
Let's do it.
All right, Jada, I'll allow you to go first. Take one by yourself, so that she won't send it to her mama.
And my sister and my girlfriend.
That's her husband right here. Let me hop on this. All right, can we take one?
Hello, everybody. We're back. This is Jada McCray, and that's Chris Simon, and we're at CanWeTalk.com. I'm sorry, no, we're in the. I got dimples in my eyes right now, guys. I'm sorry.
She's still
I'm
flustered
flustered.
right now.
More Chestnut. Now. I'm done. Chris, take it away.
We're in the Can
I
We
gotta get over
Talk
myself.
Lounge here at the Museum for the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, and we have some guests here. Look familiar. I feel like I've seen him somewhere before, but I'll start with you. How are you?
I'm good.
Tell everybody your name, what it is that you do, and then you can go next.
Yes. My name is Ruby Mendenhall. I am a professor at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Awesome.
In African American Studies and Sociology. And then I'm also the assistant dean at the Illinois College of Medicine. And my role is the assistant dean for diversity and democratization of health innovation. Basically, bringing health innovation, what we do, to the community, and also hoping to have the community come in and drive some of the discoveries around health and
Did you
wellness.
miss any titles? Did we miss any?
I left some out.
And my brother.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to run down because this ain't hardly about me. But,
You got the mic.
Lamont Rucker, actor, activist, educator, entrepreneur, also DC hometown boy. So just here out of love and support for this movement, this initiative, and my beautiful sister, Taraji.
Tell us, what does the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation mean to you? And why are you guys here to support?
Ladies first.
I was super excited when I heard that this was being held because of the research that I do around how gun violence affects Black mothers in Chicago, and just some of the stories about them losing their children. And I see this, and as I said this morning, I see it as a movement, right? And a movement that's well needed. And I look forward, as you said, to supporting this in whichever way I can, and also bringing the resources from the University of Illinois and the College of Medicine as well.
You started talking about mothers. I know she was ready to go. Talking about mothers, she has 2 kids, and she talks about them all the time.
Yes.
But it unleashes a passion in you too, helping to help support the community. But you're also a sociologist as well, so you know that sociologists have been saying. Amos Wilson, for one, has said that the things that we face in the communities, this was back in the '60s, impact Black mental health now, and so some of those things are still going on. What can we do to stop this?
Well, so one thing in terms of the violence, the University of Chicago, they did research when people had jobs, right? Because a lot of it is driven by social inequality. A lot of it is driven the centuries of racism and other forms of discrimination that we're experiencing. So one is to give people opportunities, to give them jobs, access to education, quality education. Those are some of the beginnings. And then also people need places to go when they are in the throes of mental distress. They need a place to go and people to talk to, and that's part of what the foundation is trying to do, to raise funds, to make sure that people have services, and also to decrease the stigma, right? So sometimes it's hard to say, you know what, this is hard. I am hurting. This is really a lot for me. And to decrease that stigma and let people talk about their pain.
Awesome. You're talking about places that people can go, right?
Safe spaces.
You're on camera a lot. You're in the public eye. That can be a lot. I'm not gonna say it can be. That is a lot, right? That is a lot. What do you do for your respite, to get away, to maintain and keep a clear mind? Because if not, then you're not gonna be effective on screen on the rest of the work that you do. What do you do?
Well, that's an excellent question, because everybody has to create and find, research, and even explore and discover your own system and your own process for health and recovery and rejuvenation and rest and all that. So there's a variety of different practices that I have, whether they be spiritual, whether they're physical, whether they're mental, whether they're the things, different tools and devices and exercises that you learn so that you don't take the work home.
So give us something. You're talking about it.
I mean, again, we've only got a limited amount of time, right?
Just one quick one.
I mean,
because the people at home, they can apply that.
They need the
For
resource.
example, some of the things that I do. I mean, I get teased a lot for being slow. I ain't late, but I'm slow. I take my time, and that for me is about me always kind of operating in. I don't conduct my life, even from the moment that I wake up, in panic. I know people who jerk out of sleep. They immediately wake up. They yank their phone, or they're rushing. They're moody. They're nasty. So from jump. And most of the time, when they're asleep, they're not at rest. So
you don't have to talk about me on camera.
I literally very intentionally create. The way I start my day is very calm, is peaceful, is meditative, and I find the times to do that throughout the day.
Awesome.
I make sure I watch what I eat. I'm not a drinker, smoker. I don't put drugs and other, chemicals into my body, clouding, this whole mechanism and clouding this organism, you know what I'm saying? So throughout the day, I make sure that I'm always in a position of kind of optimal peace and calm and focus, and you know what I mean?
I love it.
Otherwise, otherwise I'd be ready to pop off at any moment.
It's
and
mindfulness.
That's part of, that's part of, again, we it's difficult to label things, right? We always want to get away from labeling things.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're often in denial to call something exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I think this work and even this movement in this organization is really about all of us being transparent and open and honest about calling things exactly what they are.
Yeah.
Call a
At the
thing a
same
thing.
time, not labeling ourselves and putting ourselves or putting one another in boxes. And this is a very normal, everyday process for a lot of people that don't necessarily always have the tools on how we manage stress and pressure and basic life expectations, pain, trial, tribulation, trauma that we've been to, and sometimes everyday traumas that we're dealing with that we don't even realize are traumas that are impacting the decisions we make, the relationships we have, the quality of the work we do, and the standard of life that we live.
That's why I'm excited about the work that Taraji is doing. And so thank you guys for coming to be here. Thank you everybody for watching. We need you to go donate. Like they said, there's a lot of people out here that are suffering in silence because they don't know about mental health, right?
Absolutely.
They don't have the access to resources. And Jada, Jada and myself are excited that we can be a part. Hey, man, I'm not as smooth as you, man. You see how I'm not as...
Because he's living life intentionally, that's why.
I know, right? I wanted you to hop out the bed. But anyway, Jada, myself, I can speak... BTST Services, we're excited about the work that Taraji P. Henson is doing with the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. Please pour out to you. Please go donate so they can do this great work. Anything you want to say in closing?
Please, just again, we're so excited for people to be addressing the stigmas and releasing the stigmas of mental health, particularly in the African American community. You do not have to fight this alone. We're here to help. There are people here to help. And reach out to your friends and family. You heard over and over again people saying that on the couch. Check in with your loved ones to make sure they're actually okay.
Keep it real, be transparent. Get the information, get the healing, reduce and let's eliminate the stigma together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Silence the shame.
Yes.
My
Silence the
sister
shame.
Shanta
Thank
God
you,
likes
Jada.
to say.
Thank you, Chris.
You did an excellent job.
Did I know?
Yes. Then I can stop being nervous and we can just go straight.
I'm ready to
So
dance.
we're going to close off and leave it to You Got This Lounge Museum, Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. This has been a You Got This Lounge. We talk. You wanted to talk. We talk. Thank you. We're out.